Creative Maths, including Statistics Learning Centre, presents Analysing Data in a Two-Way Table, including the chi-squared test. Hi, I'm Dr. Nick, and in this video I'm going to show some ways of analysing data in a two-way table, including when and how you would use the chi-squared test for independence. I will illustrate the analysis with an example involving Helen and her chocolate market research. You can find out more about the different tests Helen does in our video, choosing which statistical test to use. The chi-squared test for independence is most often used when we have two variables that are both nominal, and we wish to find out if there is a relationship between the two variables. It is rather like finding a correlation or fitting a regression, which are used for interval ratio or measurement data. This graphic is taken from our video choosing which statistical test to use. Here are some examples of nominal variables that we might like to find out about relationships between. Climate change and bicycle ownership. The two measures are how sure people are about climate change and if they own a bicycle. The answers to each of the questions are categorical, whether they accept or deny climate change or are unsure, and if they own a bicycle or do not. Dragon species and dragon behaviour. Are there differences in behaviour between the two species? For each of the dragons we know their species, which is green or red, and their behaviour, which is dangerous, moody or friendly. Gender and chocolate preference. Is there a difference in chocolate preference between men and women? We ask men and women which they prefer out of dark, milk and white chocolate. Note that in each of these examples, both of the variables are nominal or ordinal with a few alternatives. If you are not clear about levels of measurement, I suggest you watch our video on types of data. We will now work through an example of a chi-squared test for independence in a two-way table. First, let us find out what Helen would like to know. Helen is thinking of selling dark chocolate, milk chocolate and white chocolate choconutties. She thinks that men and women might have different preferences with regard to type. She collects data from 50 customers, noting down if they are men or women, and asking them which variety they prefer. Let's look at the data. Just looking at the biggest numbers in each row, it seems as if the men are more likely to like dark chocolate, and the women are more likely to like milk chocolate. It is always good to look at some graphs of the data to get an idea of what is happening. On this graph the bars are grouped by gender, and on this graph the bars are grouped by chocolate type. Different graphs are better at uncovering different effects and illustrating different findings. And here is the data in a table. When we are reporting descriptive statistics from tables like these, percentages are useful. We can say that 14 out of 23, or 61% of the men in our group preferred dark chocolate, while only 6 out of 27, or 22% of the women in the group preferred dark chocolate. That seems like a big difference. These are called row percentages. We can also report column percentages. In this group of 50 customers, 14 out of 20, or 70% of dark chocolate lovers are men. 6 out of 18, or 33% of people who prefer milk chocolate are men, and 3 out of 12, or 25% of people who prefer white chocolate are men. And we could report similarly for the women. If we are only interested in our group of 50 customers, we can draw conclusions from the data alone. These are descriptive statistics. It is clear that there are differences in preference between the men and women in this sample. But say we wanted to know if there was evidence that these preferences extend to the population from which the sample was drawn. Then we would be using inferential statistics. In this instance, we are going to perform a hypothesis test. Here are the 5 steps taken from our video, hypothesis testing. Hypotheses: significance, sample, p-value, decide. Step 1. Work out the hypotheses. I usually work out what the alternative hypothesis is first. In this case, it is that gender and chocolate preference are dependent. There is a relationship between gender and chocolate preference. The null hypothesis is the opposite. It is that there is no relationship. Gender and chocolate preference are independent. Step 2. Choose your level of significance. We choose alpha equals 0.05. Step 3. Take a sample. Helen took a random sample of all her customers. The population is the 5,000 customers on Helen's database, and the sample is the 50 people she asked. Step 4. Calculate the p-value. Helen inputs the data from the 50 people and gets the computer to do a chi-squared test, and, hey presto, the p-value appears. In this case, it is 0.019. Step 5. Decision. The p-value is 0.019. This is less than the significance level of 0.05. We can reject the null hypothesis. Remember, p is low, null must go. Our conclusion is that there is evidence that there is a relationship between gender and chocolate preference back in the population of Helen's customers. Here is how we might write this. We reject the null hypothesis. From our sample data, we conclude that there is a relationship between gender and chocolate preference back in the population. In this video, we undertook a chi-squared test of independence on a two-way table. We hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe to our channel and check out our website for more resources.